Good morning, it's Tuesday, the 26th of November 2023. It's 11 days until December 7 elections, and here is what we have coming up in this morning's edition of GH Today. North Tongu MP accuses Shraj of an incomplete report following exoneration of Reverend Victor Kusi in National Cathedral scandal. And Sunana Sogli Power Ghana Limited resume operations of its 500 megawatt power plant following release of funds by government to settle part of the outstanding debts. Meanwhile, IES blames the current energy challenges on misuse of dedicated energy funds. We've got this and more coming up. Do stay. This is GH Today, and my name is Acquah. Now, a member of Parliament for North Tongu Sangbo, Acquah, has voiced his dissatisfaction with the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice's report, exonerating Reverend Victor Kusi from allegations of holding a double identity. Now, the legislator, during an interview with GHOne News, says he was surprised at Shraj's findings, claiming the Commission only scratched the surface of the allegations concerning double identity and conflict of interest. He argued that Shraj failed to fully examine all the evidence presented, relying solely on passport documentation.
Why did Shraj just stop at passport? And even with passport, didn't Shraj find it curious that you are appointed as Victor Kusi, that is the official name,
right?
That the National Cathedral was incorporated with. Victor Kusi, and yet, when the state decided to give him a diplomatic passport to carry out his official assignment, the diplomatic passport that they issued to him came in the name Kwabna Edujimfi. And Shraj is saying that they don't find that strange. So clearly, Shraj, so far as that aspect of the report, suffered credibility crisis, period. Shraj itself admits that there was no documentation. They were not taking minutes. There were no board minutes. And Shraj is actually recommending that they all have to go back to corporate governance school. They have to be educated on good corporate governance. So the question is, if there were no minutes, no documents, what is the evidence? On what basis do you then conclude that the transfer was indeed a loan amount which was being paid back? So, on the aspect of Victor Kusi Shraj has not covered itself in glory,
right?
And they are going to continue to suffer a great deal of backlash, and they have themselves to blame. So this really has been.
Now, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has praised the Lands Commission for their commitment to pursuing a digitalization agenda. Speaking at the inauguration of a new office complex for the Commission in Accra, the Vice President said digitizing their operations not only makes work easier for them and their clients, but also helps deal with corruption.
The new office complex, of which construction started some years ago, is home to the various agencies under the Lands Commission and is also part of the organization's desire to aggressively pursue a digitalization agenda. Speaking at the inauguration, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia praised the management of the Lands Commission for their commitment to the digitalization agenda.
In today's fast-evolving world, digital transformation is essential for enhancing service delivery, accountability, and transparency. And I commend the Lands Commission for their efforts in this regard. Today, with the aid of digitalization, the Lands Commission has been able to automate land title certificates, which reduces the potential errors that could arise from manual entries, thereby significantly enhancing accuracy and efficiency.
He disclosed that he will introduce a new policy That will help the Commission increase their internally generated funds to support their projects.
Look at what I'm planning to do is to move about 3% of GDP of government expenditure from the public sector to the private sector. And that is about 30 billion Ghana cedis annually in that context. And when we get this done, which we hope to get done in the first budget, that frees up a lot of fiscal space for all agencies.
The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, who also spoke at the inauguration, praised the Vice President for making his promise to ensure the Commission gets a befitting office complex and reiterated the commitment of government to improve the land administration space.
This ultra-modern edifice stands as a testament to the commitment of the Akufo-Addo government to create an efficient, transparent and accessible land administration system as the pivot for economic growth and development. It will undoubtedly elevate the standard of land services delivery, ensuring that the Lands Commission and allied agencies provide top-notch services to Ghanaians and all those in need of land administration services.
On his part, the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Benjamin Arthur, commended the government for the support in obtaining approval to undertake the 5-year Lands Administration Transformation Project. The project is expected to take off in the first quarter of 2025.
Now, author and ADHD expert Dr. David Rex Organ is encouraging Ghanaians not to take lightly matters surrounding ADHD, that is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. At a symposium held for Winneba Secondary School students, Dr. Organ, a best-selling author on ADHD, inspired them to embrace their uniqueness and strive for greatness, further equipping teachers with knowledge on handling students with the disorder. A scholarship fund was announced for 4 brilliant but needy students.
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD in short. It is a condition that affects every individual because ADHD is not friendly to the rich or poor. It is not discriminative. It chooses who it wants to come. Not to scare you, ADHD is a condition that affects individuals from birth, from 3 years to 17 years, and it can stay with you till you die. It's very important that you take your health very important. A is an attention seeker. D is a deficit. Anything that is deficit is something that lacks short change. Hyperactivity is someone who is not focusing, somebody who struggles to sit, and somebody who daydream, and somebody who fidgets about everything, somebody who struggles to retain. And lastly, disorder. Anything that is not orderly, meaning individuals with ADHD struggle to organize, to put things together. It is really important that you pay attention to your mental health as if you would do the same for your physical health.
The MasterCard Foundation and Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology have initiated the MasterCard Foundation EdTech Fellowship. This program supports tech-based companies making a positive impact in the educational space. A second cohort in the EdTech Fellowship has been outdoored in Accra. At the launch of the second cohort of the MasterCard Foundation EdTech Fellowship, Acting Director of the MasterCard Foundation Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning, Rodwell Mangisi, emphasized the importance of leveraging technology to enhance the quality of education.
The MasterCard Foundation, we've set for ourselves an ambitious target to enable 30 million work opportunities on the African continent by the year 2030. And we believe that education, right, even using technology, we can give access to education for young people on the continent. We have added Ghana to one of the countries, so we are now in 8 countries where we have the EdTech Fellowship Program running on the continent.
He also stressed the significance of collaboration, noting that the success of any project is rooted in an effective support system.
Conference in Abuja, where we had all the ministers of education, at the conference in Abuja. And out of there, we had 10 recommendations that have come from ministers of education from all these countries. So in all the work that we do work with the governments to make sure that the educational policies that they have in place are they enabling the young people of the continent to access quality education. But most importantly, really the work that we are doing with the MasterCard Foundation EdTech Fellowship, it's really to enable young people across the continent.
The MasterCard Foundation is urging tech-based companies in the education space to apply for the second cohort through their website for support. Ghanaians have been urged to cultivate the culture of insurance in order to provide a safety net in times of emergency and improve insurance penetration. The call was made during a signing of a partnership between Yango and GHOne Insurance.
According to the National Insurance Commission, insurance penetration remains below 2%, with more than 75% of Ghanaians, representing about 25 million people, being uninsured. In an effort to change this narrative, GHOne and Yango have teamed up to prioritize the well-being of drivers and passengers alike. This strategic alliance aims to enhance the safety and security of all users on the platform by introducing a comprehensive insurance package tailored to address the unique challenges of ride-hailing services.
I am particularly excited that with all our AI-driven solutions that we use to ensure that trips are as safe and as comfortable as possible, we know that sometimes some bad things happen. And when these unexpected things happen, we want to be able to give the passengers, the drivers, the comfort that a very solid company is there to cater for these unseen eventualities.
Speaking to journalists during the event, Managing Director of GHOne Life, Mami Dufie Champong Che Obing, emphasized the urgent need for a culture of insurance in Ghana, highlighting its role as a vital safety net during emergencies. She called on individuals and businesses to embrace insurance as a proactive measure to safeguard lives and livelihoods, stressing that such a shift could significantly boost insurance penetration nationwide.
Insurance penetration is still low in Ghana, but I must say that Ghanaians who have heard of the gospel and the good news are patronizing insurance, and I'll take this opportunity to encourage all Ghanaians to get insurance, some form of life insurance. If it is about affordability, we have products to cover every income bracket.
Solon Asogli Power Ghana Limited has resumed operations of its 560 megawatt power plant, following release of funds by government to settle part of the debt owed the independent power producer. The power plant was shut down in October 2024 due to the Electricity Company of Ghana's failure to settle overdue payments, leaving Solon Asogli unable to sustain operations. At the time, the company reported a net receivable of $259 million, excluding fuel, owed by ECG as of September 2024. Despite refraining from invoicing ECG for idle capacity, Solon Asogli revealed that the debt had grown by 23% between January and September 2024. Meanwhile, the Institute for Energy Security, blames the current energy crisis on misstatement of energy funds by government. Now, the Ministry of National Security says it has noted with concern a publication by the Herald newspaper alleging the abduction of one Sylvia Ba, manager of Emirates Airlines at the Kotoka International Airport, by officers of the Ministry of National Security and the National Intelligence Bureau. Mrs. Ba had been reported kidnapped and subsequently reunited with her family over the weekend. The ministry further says no officer from the ministry or the National Intelligence Bureau was involved in the alleged abduction of Sylvia Ba, as purported by the Herald newspaper. Meanwhile, the ministry is initiating investigations into the circumstances surrounding the alleged abduction. Well, that's all we have for this edition of the GH Today News. My name is Nanama Acquah. For more news updates, click on starfm.com.gh. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.